Yeah, typically the cash balance plans are going to be, appropriate for probably maybe 5% of the population. And the reason being is you got to be a really profitable company with a small, low participant count, or you need to be a large company with multiple highly compensated employees or owners at the top looking to receive much larger contributions than they would be able to inside the 401k plan. So, a typical cash balance candidate is somebody, I would say, between 15 and 20 participants if it's a one man or a one owner company. And after you get above that threshold, the employee benefits tend to wash out the tax efficiency of the business owner. So typically in a small group, you've always got one owner, 10, 15, 20 employees, somewhere around that number. And when you move up to start benefiting more owners in that arena or inside the cash balance plan, it can work out because you now have multiple people to target with the same employee demographic. So large companies with very high participant counts tend to not benefit from adding a cash balance plan unless they're an entity that's using it for maybe a buy sell program or some kind of employee retention metric where they have to have one to compete. Those aren't very common anymore, but typically you're going to see a cash balance plan in those types of situations in mega corporations, 10, 15, 20,000 employees that ultimately do retire from that company and continue taking those streams of payments at retirement all the way up until their death. Well, in the small market, we're basically taking these plans and supercharging how much can be contributed over about a 10-year period, and then we're going to terminate the plan and roll it off to an IRA. So, any sponsor that wants a higher contribution than they can receive inside the 401k plan, or somebody that's potentially already maximizing their profit sharing contribution in the 401k plan, should definitely look at a cash balance plan because the employee cost in order to add a couple $100,000 in benefits or deduction for the owner aren't a very large leap from what they're already currently contributing. So, again, ideal candidate, 15, 20 employees, one owner, or could be 100 employees with 15 owners at the top, but very profitable, stable companies that have cash flow year over year to commit to making contributions to one of those plans.